This life is temporary. This life is going to end. This is a reminder for all believers out there. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Jew, whether you are Muslim, whatever you may be, this life is temporary. And I see many people putting God to the side, thinking that they have more time left. They don't need to do this, they don't need to do that, they don't need to, you know, do that certain something to better themselves for God because they have more time. But that time that you perceive isn't guaranteed. You could get stabbed, you could get in a car crash. Many things could happen to you that will lead to your death. And again, this life is temporary. So when you indulge too much into this worldly life without God on your side, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're going to live a sad life. Because what's going to end up happening is these things that you do for most of your day, that becomes your God. For example, think about an entrepreneur who just works all day, works. What do you think is his God? Work. Right? If he doesn't do any prayers, if he doesn't believe in any religion, and all he does is work, he worships the work. You know, we do work to provide, we do work to make money, but when it becomes the highest priority over God, then what ends up happening is God will say, you want money? Fine, I'll give it to you, but don't come running to me, because you have warners, you had people that warned you, you knew about religion, you knew about God, you knew about me. He's gonna say that, and then he's gonna say, and yet you still chose the worldly life. And I think this is a very powerful mindset for every religious person to have. And the thing that stuck with me in here is that you can't kill a man, or you can't kill a nation that believes that death is not the end. Like for us believers, right? For us believers, death is not the end. Death is just the beginning of an eternal life that we're gonna live. This right here is kind of like, you know, it's just the thing that's gonna help us determine. Let's just say that this is the test, and then this test is gonna determine whether we make it into medical school or not, or whether we get out of medical school and become an actual doctor. Or let's just say this is the medical school test. We're taking the test. If we do good, we score good, we're gonna be judged, and then when our test scores come in, we see whether we be a doctor or not. But in true reality, we're gonna see whether we go to hell or heaven. So the good deeds following the sunnah, all these things that, you know, these bits and pieces that we can take and that we can just implement into our day, but we just choose not to because, you know, we're too invested too much into this dunya, which is this worldly life, if you don't know what that means. The Prophet ﷺ said that humans, us, the children of Adam, to make us grateful, or to make us, what is that word called? To make us not grateful. It is grateful, but to make us fulfilled. The only thing that would make the child of Adam truly fulfilled is by taking soil and shoving it down his mouth. What does that mean? Taking soil and shoving it down his mouth means death. That is our home, and that is where we'll return. You know, many people don't like to think of death because death is, you know, what is the word? It's gonna be ruining their day, or it's gonna, you know, ruin their positive vibe. But you must remember that nothing else matters because you're gonna die one day. And once you die, what you do in this world will determine what your eternal life is. So if you spent this life truly faithful, a faithful believer, just like all the prophets, peace be upon them all, just like all the prophets, just like all the righteous people, right? If you do that, you'll be in the highest place, inshallah, right? But if you, there's gonna be like a balance, right? Or just there's gonna be like a thing here that you choose which one do you choose, or which one you prioritize the most. If you choose this world, this dunya, if you choose this worldly life, you know, let's say that you worship the money, because every single day you're trying to get the money. You're worshiping what? Let's say you're worshiping all the influencers. You want to be just like them. You're worshiping the Instagram followers. How come he has it and I don't? You're worshiping all these things except for the God who created you. Because why? You listen to the whispers of the devil inside your ears, inside your head. He's the one that tells you that you need this. Did God tell you that you need Instagram followers? Did God tell you that you need that Bugatti that you really so badly want? He did not tell you that you need that. What he did tell you was to, you know, be good to others. Love your family, love your neighbor. But yet we focus on so much things that don't reside and sometimes even go against our religion. Why? So we can impress others? It's not worth it. And the final thing that I would like to add is that there's this character in the show Peaky Blinders. His name is Thomas Shelby. So then basically Thomas Shelby, this character, he fought in the World War, and after the World War he came out, and after he came out he became a brand new person. And then he became this person who's like a high up empire up there. And once he had a high up empire, I just thought to myself, or like in the show, people thought to themselves like, what happened to you? You changed so much. Like, how did you become so confident? How did you become this and that? It's because he said something that, you know, is kind of related to this video. He said that everything that happened after the war is just extra. So what does that mean? So what does that mean? That means that this life that he was living didn't matter. If it didn't matter, what does that mean? You'll be willing to take more risks. You will be caring about what other people think less. Your potential like is just gonna skyrocket, because that's where the anxiety comes from. All the anxiety comes from thinking that you need to be this and that, you need to do this and that in this world. But as long as you're working hard, as long as you're trying your utmost best and not coping, not lying to yourself, God will see your hard work. So, conclusion of the video, remember that this life is temporary and it will end. And you can either choose day by day. You will have two decisions: to be faithful or not to be faithful. It's that plain and simple. It's that plain cut and simple. So you can choose. That's enough for me. Improve your life and be the best possible man you can be. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.